Hey polish fans, welcome to another video here at Wild Moon Lacquer, and today I'm bringing you another nail polish tag. This time it's the indie nail polish tag, and I saw this over at Bonita Juanita's channel, and I want to say I saw a few other people do it as well, and this was another tag that happened a couple of years ago, I think in 2018. So I thought it would be a fun one to film for you guys. So let's dive right into this 9-part tag. Question number 1 is, what was the first indie polish you purchased? Now that was kind of a hard one because I feel like I discovered 2 brands at around the same time. And that would be Femme Fatale and ILNP. I feel like I discovered these, if not like exactly at the same time, close enough that they were in like the same month of the same year. Prior to that, I had purchased mainstreams. That was it. And then I saw these on Pinterest. Not these 2 specific colors exactly, but a lot from Femme Fatale and a lot from ILNP. So that led me over to the Femme Fatale website as well as the ILNP website. And you can see my haul, my first haul of ILNP on my channel as well. I'll try to remember to link that down below. And the Femme Fatale, I actually wound up getting, oh goodness, I don't remember if I initially made an order directly from them or if I wound up getting some from a D-stash first. I do know I was lucky enough to find someone selling a whole box of Femme Fatales, and this is one of them. This is one that stuck out in my mind. This is called Glass Coffin. It's beautiful. It's a thermal. It is this light lavender color with this blue to green shift in it. It's this shimmer, and I don't remember what color this changes to when it is warm. I don't know if I'm going to be warm enough at this given moment to have it change. Ah, there it is. It's blue. Yeah. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? And this was the first thermal I remember wearing, so you may have heard me talk about this in one of my Polish Firsts videos, but it just stunned me. I had never even heard of such a thing before, and when I wore this, I remember I was washing dishes, and so my hands were constantly changing temperatures, dipping into warm water, pulling out, and being in the cooler room temperature. And the change that would happen on this just had me so entertained. I was really distracted. So this was one of the first ones that came to mind. That would be Femme Fatale. And then, of course, the second brand, like I mentioned, was ILNP. And this was another that I just kept seeing all over the place on Pinterest. And just look at this one in the bottle. You see that gold along the edge? This one is called Cygnus Loop, and this was one of the first ones that I had to get. I had not ever seen this kind of multichrome before. I had seen duochromes. Again, you may have seen in one of my Polish Firsts videos, the first duochrome that I had was a Revlon, but that's only a duochrome. I'm pretty sure only had the 2 colors, and if it had more, they were extremely subtle. So to see a polish like this was mind-blowing, and just look at how many colors this changes. I mean, just right there, you've got like this dark blue with the red and gold edging, and then you shift it, and bam, you've got fuchsia and dark blue. Yeah. So those were 2 of the first indie brands that I found. Like I said, it's really hard to narrow down a specific polish because I did find them and ordered a bunch at the same time. Question number 2 is, what's an indie polish lemming that you have never been able to get your hands on? I had to think about that one because I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot because the indie polish world is so vast, and there were so many polishes that came out in limited editions that were way before I even had discovered indie polish. But the one that really stuck out in my mind is a Femme Fatale, and that is Lantern Waist. That's one that was exceedingly popular. If you are lucky enough to find it in a D-stash, I would grab it. It is stunning, and I've been keeping my eye open for it ever since I found Femme Fatale, and that's been 5 years. So a very, very long time. So that is still a lemming on my list. Question number 3 is name an indie polish you bought because of a YouTuber. That list could be really, really, really long. We could be here all week. But one that definitely jumped to mind is this Polished for Days Kiki Do You Love Me? This was purchased because I looked at Fat Cat Polished's YouTube videos for polish pickup. It hadn't really been on my radar prior to that. And when I saw her swatch this, I was blown away by the color. It is this sheer shifting blue, and see up there at the edge of the bottle? That is why I got this. This particular shade of blue with this gorgeous purple shifting glow to it really caught my eye. And if I hadn't watched her video, I don't think I would have got this. I wouldn't have even been on my radar. I mean, polish pickup is like that. It's so vast. Sometimes polishes that you do like just sort of slip by you. So this is just one that I got because of Fat Cat Polished. Like I said, that list could be extremely long because I watch her videos every month for polish pickup, and I could name at least one per month for polish pickup. So that's just one for that question. Question number 4 is, what is your favorite and least favorite types of polish in the indie polish? They're talking about flakies, holo, multichrome, that sort of thing. And I would have to say, because my least favorite list is sort of dwindling, because I didn't used to really be drawn to acrylics, and now I really like acrylics. I hadn't really been around the indie polish world when glitter bombs were really, really popular, but I'm really liking those now as well. So I really had to think about that because nothing really sprang to mind. But if I had to pick a least favorite, and it's not one I hate, it's just a least favorite, it would have to be just simple shimmer polishes, like polishes where, not toppers, but a polish where the main component is just shimmer, which sounds weird because I love shimmer polishes. Like this is a shimmer polish that is loaded with shimmer, but it's also tinted, so you have a color that goes along with it. And I'm thinking more along the lines of polish that is strictly the shimmer, not much else going on to it. And the reason being is I often find that those sort of come out pixelated on the nail, if that makes any sense. So you can see the larger particles of the shimmer, and to me it sometimes doesn't have the best finished look on the nail. But like I said, I love shimmer polishes in with other things. It's a really nice component, but I just have to say that there are polishes that I've seen that are just simply a shimmer that I'm not the biggest fan of. Hopefully that makes sense. As far as my favorite goes, I'm sort of cheating because I'd have to say kitchen sink. I am a huge fan of flakies. I'm a huge fan of multichrome. I love the glitters. I love everything at this point. So I say kitchen sink polishes. So I pulled out a few to talk about. Pretty Beautiful Unlimited is really known for her kitchen sink polishes. She's got an amazing eye for mixing flakies and multichromes and glitters and shimmers and holos. You name it, it's probably in her polish, and it's beautiful. So this is just one. This one is called Autumn Rush. And I really love the contrast between this beautiful teal green and those multichrome flakies. Then you've got the holographic component in there as well. So like I said, this is just one of her polishes that is this beautiful kitchen sink style. And another one that is also really good at doing that is Glam Polish. And this one is called Don't Get Tied Down. And this one is one of the first ones that I have that has this really fun glitter mix in it. But if you look closely, there's iridescent flakies, there's smaller shimmer, there's probably scattered hollow because it is a glam polish. And then of course you have the jelly base. So I love this one. And another brand is Cadillacquer. This one is called Galaxies. And this is another just beautiful kitchen sink polish. You've got this beautiful deep, deep teal leaning blue. And look at all of the stuff that's in it. You've got these little matte blue glitters. You've got iridescent flakies. You've got, goodness, I'm pretty sure there's scattered holographic in there. I mean, just look at that. There's everything, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Polishes like this just take my breath away on the nail because there's so much to look at. It just really catches my attention. So that was Cadillacers Galaxies. So for that answer, kitchen sink. So question number 5 is name an indie polish that fits your personality to a T. This is another one that was really hard to think about because, I mean, what would my personality be if it was a color? My first thought would be something along the lines of purple, but I also really like blues and teals and turquoise and a whole bunch of other things. So I almost picked this one at random, but it is one of my favorites, and that is why I picked this one, because it is so stunning. This one is by Bee's Knees, and this is House on Haunted Chill. This is one of my earlier purchases from them, and just look at that. It is this gorgeous jelly base in this blurple, which fits, it pulls from the purple side and the blue side. And then you've got that iridescent shifting shimmer. Yeah, just beautiful. I almost see like a holographic flash to it as well. So I would have to say this one just because it pulls from both sides of the color spectrum that I really like, the blues and the purples. And it's one of my favorites. It's one of the ones that I have a backup bottle of. So for that question, I would say Bee's Knees, House on Haunted Chill. Question number 6 is what indie brand do you wish you owned every bottle of? And that one, it's a toughie because there are some brands that come out with some colors that are not my favorites. You may have heard me say on multiple occasions that I'm not really the biggest pink fan. So I'm sure that there would be plenty of polishes in every brand's lineup that I wouldn't necessarily be wearing. But for that answer, I will be naming a few brands that I, on most occasions when I see a collection release, have a very difficult time narrowing that down to just a few. And those brands are Emily DeMolly. This is just an example polish. This is a limited edition number 109. Her releases are just spectacular. I love the polishes that she comes out with. She comes out with very unique colors. She's got the shimmer formula down, so very similar to this kind of polish where she's got a beautiful jelly color base and then loads of this shifting shimmer going around. It's absolutely amazing. Another brand that I would say I would want at least 90% of is Glam Polish. They're another one that just comes out with these amazing colors. This one is Cut It Out. And check that one out. I don't know if that's, there you go. Kind of being camera shy. But again, this is another of her polishes. And she just comes out with these amazing colors. She's, again, really great at the kitchen sink. You've got holographic, you've got glitters, you've got flakies, you've got multichromes. One of the ones that I actually wanted to pull out and I couldn't find it was called Please Don't Read My Mind, and that I believe is still available, at least as of filming today, on her website for clearance pricing. And it's a stunning. It is this beautiful, like multichrome shifting flaky polish that is mind-blowing. It sparkles and shifts and glows. You've got to check it out if you don't have it. And then another brand that I want probably at least 90% of, again, is Ethereal. This one is Reverie. And she's another one that just comes out with these amazing colors, amazing polishes. She's got these glow polishes. She's got flaky polishes. They're just beautiful. So she's another one that I would say I would want, if not 100%, at least 90% of her lineup in my collection. Question number 7 was name an indie polish that physically made your jaw drop. I gotta say, this is happening more and more lately. Early on, definitely some from ILNP. I mean, you have this one, and I want to say the other one that made my jaw drop was Birefringence or something along those lines. But it was another really beautiful multichrome. But lately, one that I thought of was this one by Cadillacer, and this was Origins. It is a thermal from PPU a couple months back. I remember sitting in a restaurant, I was waiting for my order to be ready. So this was 3 months ago. And I was scrolling through the PPU preview thread on Facebook, and I saw this one come up, and I was just jaw dropped. It was stunning. I'm very into oranges lately, and this is a very particular shade of orange. And then, of course, it has that thermal property, and it has those flakies in it. The pictures were amazing, and the polish has not disappointed at all. I am so excited to wear this in the fall. I might actually pull this out a bit early even. So this is one of them. And then there's a couple that I don't have, but one that I saw recently was by Savannah Lacquer, and it's called Blooming Hyacinths. It is this beautiful crelly with a bunch of glitter mixes in it, and it is this beautiful color. The other one is by Polish Molish, and this one is coming up in June's PPU. And it's called Smoothie Operator, and it's kind of similar to the Blooming Hyacinths in idea and also in sort of color family. Beautiful, sort of this light purpley crelly loaded with really pretty glitter. So I'm really excited to get that. That is on my wish list right now. So those are at least 3 polishes that I can think of right off the bat that have literally made me drop my jaw. Question number 8 is, what do you look for the most when purchasing an indie polish? This was another kind of tough one because, like I've said before, the indie polish world is vast. I mean, talk about a rabbit hole. You can get lost so easily. You just keep discovering brand after brand and polish after polish. And once your collection gets to be to a certain point, you've got at least one usually of a certain type of polish. So do you go by favorite brands? Do you go by favorite finishes? Do you go by favorite color? I have so many purple polishes at this point, and I'm always drawn to them, but I have found that I'm sort of pulling away from buying more purple polish to a point, and trying to focus on specific colors in the purple family that I might be short on in my collection. So I would have to say at this given moment, what I'm looking for is uniqueness. So I'm looking for something to fill a gap in my collection, like orange. Orange was missing from my collection for the most part up until last fall, and that's when I started really being drawn to the orange color. Prior to that, it was not a color that I wanted, was drawn to, so I didn't purchase it. So filling that void in my collection, I've started to fill the void of yellows in my collection, although that one I'm being very picky about because yellow is not a favorite color of mine. I don't wear it very often, so I'm being very choosy about the colors that I'm picking with that. And speaking of uniqueness, what I'm really drawn to lately is those ones like Savannah Blooming Hyacinth and Polish Molish Smoothie Operator, those glitter crellies, because I don't have that many. I mean, I have some. This one to me is along those same lines as far as a jelly or crelly base with a bunch of fun glitters. But that part of my collection is still a lot smaller than my flakies and multichromes by a long shot. So right now I find myself being drawn a lot to that kind of polish and trying to be kind of choosy on the other polish types that I buy and try to make sure that the polish that I am buying is not a duplicate of one that I already own or so similar to one that I already own that it will feel like a duplicate. So that's what I'm looking for now in buying indie polish. And the last question is number 9. What direction would you like to see indie polish go in? And this was another head scratcher too, because the indie polish world is really unique and amazing. It's you've got some brands that have been around that have made it to the point of needing, a huge production area, hiring people. You've got KB Shimmer and Cirque Colors, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot, but those are big brands now. And they're always coming out with new things. They're always coming out with new collections, new things to try out. You've got thermal magnetics now. You've got thermal solar polishes, I think. I could be wrong on that one. But they're mixing things now. They're coming up with things that you've never seen before. And so it's kind of hard to make suggestions about where you want to see them go, because someone somewhere has probably gone in that direction. I did like what Bonita Juanita suggested for her answer, and that was to have more brands that are doing retro collections. And by that I mean bringing back like their first collection that they released back in the day. Or at least 2.0s. Like I know Moonshine Manny has released a number of like 2.0s. I think her reasoning was that she actually lost a lot of her recipes, so the 2.0 is as close as she can get without her previous recipe for those colors. But it would be nice if a lot of other brands did that for collectors who are getting going, years into the whole indie craze and may have not even been around or aware of their brand to start collecting early on. And as you know, in the indie polish community, polish is often limited edition or limited release. Then you've got ones like PPU, which are very limited edition, special releases, the list goes on. So it would be really nice to see brands sort of revisiting past collections, if not the whole collection, at least like customer favorites, fan favorites of those collections, colors that really were very popular, and give their newer customers an opportunity to buy those, because those definitely are hard to find. And as a collector, you want them all. So that, I guess, would be something to say that would be fun to see more brands do on a more regular basis, even if it's just like once a year or a couple of times a year, to do sort of a revisit of, 2016 or 2014, and, bring back those polishes so newer collectors can rediscover polishes that we may have missed out on. So there you have it. That was the Indie Polish tag. I will make sure to tag Bonita Juanita's YouTube down below, and any others that I can think of that I saw this tag on. And I'm not going to tag anybody specific, but if you're watching this and you want to do your own tag, feel free to comment down below with your answers, or make a film yourself and post it on your YouTube channel. Make sure to let me know if you do that so I can watch it. And make sure to like and subscribe for more nail polish topic videos, and we'll see you next time.